A moment of silence for the passing of the Ukraine narrative. Dear Lord, we hereby reject Ukraine in favor of Israel. Zelensky not even invited to Israel. Or no, it's not that he wasn't invited. His proposal to come there was rejected.
He tried to invite himself, and they were like, "No, thank you."
It's like encroaching on a fellow busker's territory. Climate Group will spend $80 million to tout Biden's environmental record as we get into this bonus podcast for everybody. Thank you for subscribing. Advocacy group called Climate Power is committing $80 million in advertising. I wonder where they're getting the money from, Eric, to Biden's climate environment agenda ahead of the 2024 election. Do they
Yeah,
not
well, wait,
realize
hang
this
on,
is
hang
not
on.
what
Yeah,
people care
hold
about
on,
right
hold on.
now?
You bring up the most obvious question. Where the hell are they getting $80 million? Like, what are you selling? How did you make this money? Like, what an absolute joke. This is
Clean energy. You know, Eric, we talked about, as we skimmed through this trying to find where they got the money. We talked about previously one of the ways that the Biden administration is fighting climate change, as they say in France.
oh,
Um,
we're getting the community note or whatever they call it on YouTube. A little
yeah,
band. Yeah.
one of the my headphones just died.
Climate.
That sucks.
Can you
Um,
still hear me? How is this gonna work?
yeah, I can still hear you. Just let me turn up the computer. Start talking.
Mic check 1 2. Climate change for all
Yeah,
the amigos and muchachos living in a $500 a night hotel in Manhattan.
makes me think of Mott's Clamato. I'll just start muting myself when I stop talking, so there's no echo. But one of the things that they're doing to fight the Mott's Clamato change is carbon capture, legacy carbon capture they call it, where they're building these facilities where they literally just take in air from outside. They do this complex ordeal
Scam.
where they separate the carbon from the air and then bury it deep underground, and that's supposed to be fighting climate change. Just grabbing air from anywhere, then putting it's underground, it's gone now. We don't have to worry about it ever again, Eric.
Well, I think one thing that's funny about this is yeah, it doesn't really show how they get, are they selling solar panels? How do they have $80 million? That doesn't make any sense. But also what the Biden administration is doing in this case, I think, is really pumping this climate nonsense so hard. Obviously, not just because, you know, whoever's behind the curtain is telling them that's what has to happen after Rona, but with inflation through the roof, gas prices through the roof, um, interest rates through the roof, everything costs an arm and a leg more. They have no choice but to say, well, we're helping the climate. Like so in one way, shape, or form, they're going to try to convince you that yeah, everything costs a little bit more, but that's just the cost of saving the planet. And then you will notice that correction there at the bottom, which I just think is great because the media is always either wrong or lying. Not always wrong or lying, but 90% of the time wrong or lying or both. And before I forget, when you call it clamate, I have to. This just comes to my mind that clamato, right? You guys have that in America's Hat, clamato.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's disgusting, and I tried one time many years ago, and it tastes like vomit. That has nothing to do with this story, but it's like tomato juice and beer. It literally tastes like beer that somebody already drank. But neither here nor there. This is a total and complete scam. I like. Can you scroll up a little bit? You're going too fast. Let's go back up to the progress flag there. What country was that?
That's
What?
Canada, baby.
Oh, that's you guys. Okay. Wow, that's pretty dark, bro. So you guys no space for hate. Yikes, bro.
I'd imagine that this is just all coming money coming from Biden's climate action plan, where they just give money to all these different companies. This is Canadian, eh?
So it's just
I
money.
mean,
So this is just.
Manitoba, but this is one of the companies. It said,
But so this is just money laundering. So if the Biden administration gives money to companies for green initiatives or whatever, and then one of those companies gives the Biden administration $80 million to tell people how good they've been. Like, what is
Yes,
happening?
exactly. We're really starting to learn, Eric, that most of what happens in
It,
terms of passing money around, funding things, is just a not even that complex form of money laundering. It's as long as it's not being technically spent by the person who provided the money, it can go to some sort of Canadian climate activist program through an American climate activist program, and then they will pay for it so that they can't say that, the money came from the government, is just being paid for
this is great
to,
too, though. Look at the
to
names:
promote the
climate,
president.
climate power, and future forward. It's like some Captain Planet. Like this is,
Next Gen Pack.
yeah, this is. I mean, look, I think people are. I think the jig is it gig or I think it's up. I think people know. I think the scam is. I mean, the well is running dry, bro. Like just like the junkies out in San Francisco who realize that there's no more businesses to steal from. Like these politicians, this establishment, they realize. I mean, what Waka Flocka, who I actually like. I have no shade. I have no shade for Waka Flocka at all. But like Waka Flocka, Sexy Red, obviously Kanye
Hmm.
West leading the train. I mean the list go Lil Pump. I mean the list goes on of people who are like, yeah, this is nuts, dude. You people are crazy. And then you're gonna have media personalities like Angela Rye. I'm not sure if you remember her.
No.
She was amongst Angela Rye is she's a race baiting grifter, a CNN talking head. She is most notable for for being one of the first, if not the first, to say that a MAGA hat was the same as a Klan hood many years ago. Um, and she melted down. She melted down when Sexy Red said that, oh, the hood likes Trump. She melted down. She was silent on, oh, maybe I shouldn't say silent, but she was not very talkative on social media for many months, and then Sexy Red came out and she started making carousel posts. She was doing like 10 minutes. She would do like the carousel posts of her talking for a full minute each, 10 times, like just to let people know that Sexy Red. And look, I think we can both agree that Sexy Red may enjoy Trump for all the wrong reasons, but it doesn't matter at this point because right now what we have is a criminal empty suit who is hell bent on destroying the country. So I said all that to say the facade has cracked. It is leaking everywhere. The empty suit, Joe Biden is latching on to every single thing. They're clearly, if you look at those clips I sent you, and hopefully we can play them here without a hitch, but he's clearly getting pumped full of whatever it is they're pumping him. So he's like virile, like he's got energy for spurts of 3 to 5 minutes at a time. Um, and so there's an angry dog who probably saw another dog outside. Anyways, um, so yeah, as it collapses and you have a woman like Angela Rye, I mean, just her. I mean, she's right in there with Joy Reid and all of the talking heads that are just like I mean, I don't know. I can't say for sure, but somebody's paying them to parrot these talking points ad nauseum, nonstop, as they continue to lose their grip on as people start to see through it. Even in San Francisco, I'll end it with this. I talked to several people in San Francisco very recently, fast food workers, old school lesbians, all this stuff, and they're like, "Nah, we've had enough of this." And that's in San Francisco. So imagine what it looks like in other parts of the country.
Turn it up, Jordan.